Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's me, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 1 of Image Comics' new series, Unnatural. Now, I saw this being advertised a couple of weeks ago, and I saw that my comic shop had actually got it in, so I thought, maybe I'd check it out. And interestingly enough, it's actually translated from Italian, so it seems pretty interesting. It caught my eye just off the bat, and I mean the artwork is amazing, and from what I've read, the story is very interesting, and I'll get into that as well. Now, this is actually written, drawn, and colored by Mirka Andolfo, who is the creator of this, but we also have colors assistants, letterers, of course, translation from Italian from Arancia Studios. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna go through all the names because I will butcher all of them. I mean, my last name is Italian as it is, or so I've been told. But I've heard how other people butcher it, so I'm not gonna do that I'm not gonna wish that on anyone else. So now, diving right in, we are met with what looks like a world of anthropomorphic animals. These animals are humanistic with many of their animalistic traits, physical traits, and we were met with the main character, Leslie, who is this pig type creature. And first off, she's looking very sexy. And apparently she's been having this dream. She's having this dream where she is having a physical intimacy. Well, yeah, I guess this very intimate dream, that's what I'm trying to say. She's having this very intimate dream with what looks like a wolf. Now, that seems cool and all, but apparently, to her, it's, like the title says, unnatural. And so, she wants to hold back, but she obviously can't. Sorry, I'm moving the table around like crazy. She's woken up by her roommate, I assume it's her roommate, Trish, who is, I guess she's some kind of mouse. And she obviously reveals that Leslie was having a very heated dream because she was making out with her pillow pretty much. And I love this little detail here because you can see in her eyes, my boyfriend actually pointed this out. In her eyes, you can see a little heart as she's waking up. So I love the attention to detail in this story. Trish obviously knows about these dreams because, she's kind of ragging on her about it. And so she's getting ready for her day. Turns out it's her birthday. And so she heads off to work. But as she's driving over there, she's having this monologue where she's saying she's worried about these dreams. She's saying, it's been haunting me for a month now. But last night was particularly intense. Whew. Anyway, as she's driving to work, we're seeing all these other animal, people. And we also see these signs that are saying traditional families, legal and sane. Rude. Anyway. And also saying, can't marry before 25. Let the reproduction program help. So what I'm gathering, what I gathered from, reading this the first time is that this society has a certain idea about, I guess, sexuality. Kind of how it was back in the 60s here in the States. With the LGBT group, and I mean, being part of that group, I can understand where Trish is Leslie, I'm sorry, where Leslie is coming from you know, where everyone's saying that, you know, traditional families, whatever, but uh, who says what's traditional or not, you know? And so uh, Leslie obviously feels pressured by this. She doesn't want, she's not even sure she wants to have kids, let alone be forced into a relationship that this program seems to be enforcing. And so she gets to work and she meets up with one of her co-workers. His name is Derek, which is, he looks like some kind of goat. And so they actually work at what this interesting diner called Goth LOL, which the way I read it was Goth lol. I don't know where that came from. It just came to me. I just started reading it like that. Anyway, after they get into work, we're met with this very interesting cartoon, and it's showing like a little love interest between this cat boy and this dog girl, and this horse steps in. It sounds so crazy talking about it. I feel like I sound like a crazy person, but this horse steps in, and it sounds like a bad trip. That's what it sounds like. And she automatically says, like, this is an unnatural choice or whatever. Now, the reproduction program shows that everybody knows that hybrids between different species aren't conceived by or in nature. And so it's kind of showing here a little diagram between dog and cat. No, a cat. Yeah, a cat and cat is love, whereas a cat and dog is not. And a male cat and a male cat is not. So obviously there's it seems a lot like pre-60s, like early to mid 1900 America, and I'm sure other places, but that's where I've learned it from, because it seems like there's a real discrimination between interspecies, well, obviously interspecies relationships, as well as same-sex relationships, and which how that used to be a problem, like especially back in the 60s with interracial couples, and then even still now with same-sex couples. But I mean, we've gotten a lot farther, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, this program kind of is kind of like forcing this reproduction program, kind of like saying, make the right choice for future generations or whatever, you know. And it seems interesting, but it's pretty brutal. And so now we're back with this group at this diner, and turns out that there's been a uniform update, and we see Leslie struggling in this really tight and very revealing uniform that she's obviously not very comfortable in, and the other female coworkers being total bitches, saying sausages don't fit into into the uniforms or whatever, and you know, just being total bitches. Anyway, we also see this like really inappropriate like flirtatious behavior from the boss, which seems to be some kind of crocodile or some kind of lizard. But while Leslie gets to work with Derek, turns out that Derek is, you know, trying to set her up with this really handsome pig-looking dude, but turns out that that's his boyfriend. And so the conversation kind of goes into saying that, well, why not? You know, the reproduction program's going to get to you eventually, and why not with him? You know, he's pretty cute, he's pretty handsome, whatever. And you guys would be perfect for each other. But obviously there's other intentions behind it, because turns out, you know, obviously since Derek and this other guy, I don't think he mentions a name, between them, they're interspecies and same-sex, so double whammy, you know? What comes out of this is basically what he's asking her is to marry his boyfriend so that they can still stay together, and possibly surrogate a child for them. And so, first off, rude. If you're supposed to be friends, you don't force that on your friends. Second of all, we really see this, this hesitation on her part, because obviously she doesn't want to do that. I doubt anyone in the right mind would want to be set up and forced to marry someone else, or someone that they don't love, of course. But also the fact that, having to be forced to reproduce, it's just wrong. They make up after it, because obviously she's not, Leslie isn't very entertained by this. And so while they're getting back to work, Leslie notices this figure standing in the window, and when we cut back to her where she's kind of freaked out, we cut back to the windows and he's gone. Classic horror movie detail. But she kind of brushes it off. I mean, she's already having weird dreams. It's bad enough that she's getting weird incidents in the real world, but we still see this hooded figure still watching her, and so we see more of this little dream that she's having, and she knows it's unnatural. Or how she feels it's unnatural. She's like, is something wrong with me? I have such dirty thoughts, so many of them. We're of different species. We can't have children. Lily. My dog was having a nightmare. Don't bark at me. Don't bark at me. You're barking in your sleep. Silly. I'm sorry. But she even says, like, this is wrong. Like, it says so on TV. Don't believe what you see on TV. Anyway, she's interrupted by her roommate again, of course. And they get together to have dinner. But while they're having dinner, don't know if I mentioned this before, but this day is actually her birthday. She turns 25, which is the age that you get put into the reproduction program. And as they're eating, she gets an email, and turns out it's from the reproduction program. And it says here, "Dear Miss Leslie J. Blair, as you know, after reaching 25 years of age, each citizen can be included in the reproduction program. As soon as a person of the same species with a sufficiently high procreative compatibility is found, we are happy to inform you we have found your soulmate. The appointment is for tomorrow at 6 p.m. Uh-oh. So that's the end of this issue, and so I'm excited to see where this is going. This really caught my attention, and I mean, being transgender as and part of a kind of discriminated community, I can understand how how uncomfortable this would be. I mean, it's not just relatable toward the LGBT community, but anyone else who is set up with people they don't love. So I'm excited to see where this goes, and so I'm hoping I can keep reviewing this for y'all. And so, yep, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications on when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.